Hi, this is Dan Bullard, retired electronics engineer, sitting on the front deck of my houseboat again. That's the swim ladder that I talk about occasionally. It's 5th of July, so I'm going to go swimming today. I want to talk about coherent sampling in general. But I went on YouTube and searched for coherent sampling, and I got like 3 or 4 videos showed up. One of them was mine. I don't think anybody knows about coherent sampling. In fact, I'm certain that the people at Stack Overflow don't know anything about coherent sampling. Not a thing. Now, what are the advantages of coherent sampling? Coherent sampling means you can work in bin numbers. So when I set up like that intermodulation distortion test, when I set up the M's to be 384 and 387 for the 2 things you have to use for intermodulation, then the intermodulation products show up in bin 387 times 2 minus 384, which is bin 390. And so I can look in bin 390 and I can see every picavolt, every nanovolt, every femtovolt of whatever frequency that is, bin 390. None of it appears in the next bins, in bin 391 or in bin 389. None of it. And when I look in bin 384 times 2 minus 387, which is bin 381, every picavolt of energy from that frequency shows up in bin 381. None of it shows up in bin 380, none of it shows up in bin 382. That's the beauty of coherent sampling. Now, Matt Mahoney would be so upset that nobody's talking about coherent sampling. I can promise you the people on Stack Overflow have never heard of coherent sampling. And I told you already, Tony's never heard of it. He thought I was talking about making a coherent argument. He doesn't know what coherent sampling is. Now, I don't want to be the last person on earth to know about coherent sampling, and I'm sure I'm not, but I've been doing coherent sampling since 1990, okay? It's 2023 now. So how many years is that? It's 33 years. And I've been a big advocate of coherent sampling for all that time. When I first learned mixed signal and I was doing this stuff with coherent sampling, it was so obvious to me. I mean, I don't have to remember complicated numbers. I mean, it's integers. 387 times 2 minus 384 is 390. Just integers. These people, they want to sound important by quoting very complicated frequency numbers. But I'm just doing everything in integers. And the beauty is the integers are simple, easy to understand, easy to remember. And that's the beauty of coherent sampling. It's all integers. So it's pretty cool. Try to get into coherent sampling. Applicos, Audio Precision, the Credence equipment, the Teradynes, the LTXs, many testers use coherent sampling. What doesn't use coherent sampling? Spectrum analyzers. If you use a spectrum analyzer, and I've said this before, fuck you. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. The crap that you see on a spectrum analyzer is garbage. And the really cool patterns that you see in a spectrum analyzer from harmonic distortion can be attributed as an artifact. Like I said, my buddy Terry, who said, oh, those are artifacts. No, they're not artifacts. They're real things, you know. And if you get to using coherent sampling, you get used to it, and you know that that stuff is absolutely 100% true. So, you know, I wish more people understood coherent sampling. It's not very hard. Look at my video on intermodulation distortion. You can do coherent sampling on all kinds of stuff, but you need an Applicos, an Audio Precision, or a Credence, or an LTX, or a Teradyne, or a Nextest. Don't believe these people. They're all idiots. The people of Stack Overflow, I want to ask you a question. Let me know if you think I should confront them on this. should I ask Stack Overflow who here has done coherent sampling? And I'd be willing to do it. So let me know, yes or no, what you think, and I will rip them to shreds if they, if you guys say I should. So I don't have anything to lose. They're just going to kick me off again. So what? Anyway, so once again from the river, this is Dan Bullard. See ya.